for the participant, I have to say that Shekhar sir will be talking about his introduction on his own. So he has been very kind enough to me कि आपको ये भी नहीं करना. You just relax and I will introduce myself and the topic as well. Uh, okay.
Good afternoon,
Dev
Dr.
Prasad.
Dev Prasad ji. Okay, let's start. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the session. Thanks for joining the session, taking time to join the FDP and giving your time. Really, for 7 days, you have been sweating hard. That's how we call it in the phrases. However, this time we all are sitting in our homes. So, just would like to begin the session with my introduction. This I learned from my student only. He's an alumni. That in this online work, we should give the introduction through some PowerPoint only. So visually, people are able to connect. So I am an FDP. I did a FDP from Accelerate, and then 1 year certification from Mudra Institute of Communication, Ahmedabad. Then some MOOCs certifications I have done, especially in the area of digital transformation or digital marketing. And then I have read this book. Why I'm mentioning here? Because most of the time it is said that to teach advertising, you should essentially read this book. So therefore, I make myself eligible by reading these books on the doyens of the advertising industry. Being a marketing person and teaching advertising, these are some great books. So they're just shared with you. Possibly you all know these giants. Then I wrote novel Target Buster. This is on the experiences of salespeople. These are the first-hand account of salespeople, and this book was released in Pragati Maidan Book Fair, and this is cataloged with the University of North Carolina, Stanford, such type of American university, and everywhere in India. So that's just had a pleasure some time back sharing with you. And then this was the biggest achievement of mine in life till now. You know that Shunu Sen Gupta, late Shunu Sen Gupta, he was the marketing director, the person who launched Surf Excel, and many of the Liril also, many of the products in Unilever, and he quoted in one of the magazine in that was A&M, Advertising and Marketing. And then I just keep on dabbling with digital marketing. That is my interest. In fact, keeps changing. The area is very, very fast moving, so makes the thing very interesting. Then I am also in content marketing, creating campaigns for some of the companies. Then just sharing with you that just keep on giving challenges to myself in terms of that how to say something visually. So this was one presentation which I created for the incentive system to explain it in sales management. And why I'm sharing with you, because it's not only cluster analysis which I like to share, because you are all such an experienced people from all across the country, that I would like to share with you all whatever I'm having right now. And so everybody has some or the other type of strength. Then this is how we are trying to engage students, like giving assignments in service marketing of the customer touch point. So I asked them to create the assignment in form of a comics. So that was done. So it makes things very interesting. So these are the part of snapshots of comics which were created by students. And then this is one gamification I did of the conference. So we, along with my colleagues, we were part of this thing, and the students, they created this whole concept where a brand mark would be created of the product failures. So everybody would be, the groups will be presenting about different type of product failures, and then they will be submitting it, and that would be going here down in this bound. we created this something which can be sent to the institute for invitation. So this gives a lot of exposure. And then this is basically my area of strength. That is, I'm passionate for business games, creating a lot of business games. Till now, I have created 8 business games, and they are from different type of area. This is a multimedia business game. I created 3 multimedia business game, real-time games, and then 3 board games I have created, and I'll keep on taking different type of workshops on business games, especially with GNU, MET University, and many other places I have taken. Then this is last year during the lockdown online classes. You know, Google Meet, we have a Jamboard, so we create some type of interactive game. This was very basic in nature in terms of that it didn't need some type of technology. So Jamboard, the way it is on Google, we created something out of that. And this is what I am right now working, and I'd like to invite, if anybody would like to become part of this exercise here, I'd like to create some interactive game throughout the campus, and something I'll be doing with the help of the quizzes and QR codes. With the help of these type of technology, we can do something. So in case if people are interested, they can always mail me and we can join together. So this is all about me, the area which I am most interested. And then just the next one is cluster analysis. So when Dr. Monica, my respected colleague, asked me, I said, okay, cluster analysis. And cluster analysis, I'm not saying that everybody knows cluster analysis, but certain part of it which I have discovered, I will be emphasizing upon that, right? So let's begin. So I'm taking a small situation. A women's apparel company, Maclan, approached us to create a campaign based on some unique brand personality which can emotionally appeal to female youth of today. That means you are an apparel company and you want to create a brand personality, and through brand personality you want to be distinct, create a different type of appeal. So now the client would like to have different type of personality with which the youth can empathize with. So the task was how to know what type of preferences, values, attitudes different type of female youth are having. So how we can get some type of profile out of that. So when we are talking about different type of profile, that means cluster analysis would be coming into picture. So we brainstormed in the focus group that the brand personality can be created based on their career orientation, views toward their independence, their activities, their appearance, or other psychographic factors. Means we did a focus group. We arrived at certain the points which some were related to the consumption, some were related to attitude, some were related to the values. So we had some 15 such points. So now the things which I'll be taking up in between, they may become bit complex in terms of I'll be talking about two, three directions. So let's just introduce the concept which is there, that is the cluster analysis. Now as you see that I have created, yeah, please don't now this is the dots which you are seeing are different respondents, and this we have plotted on the two axes, that is X and Y. The X represents career orientation, so career orientation increases, and the values which are on Y axis, they increase from traditional to modern values. So here what we see is that when we are talking about cluster analysis, generally the first point which comes in mind is that how we'll be getting the clusters, how many clusters we'll be getting, or how to know about the number of clusters. Now there are two types of situations. When we are talking about the case which we are discussing, like profiling or knowing what can be different type of personality of managers. So in that case, we really don't know that how many number of clusters or different type of personality may emerge. So in that case, we use some type of technique called as hierarchical clustering technique. In case of that, when we know, or the company says that okay, we will be just operating on 3 segments only. So here we know that we have to begin with 3 segments. In that case, we can go with the k-means clustering. So that means there are 2 techniques and they operate in tandem with each other. K-means would require the number of clusters. So when we go into the interface of k-means, they will be asking for कि भाई आपको कितने number of cluster चाहिए. So we will be saying 3 or 4 and then they will be creating the number of clusters. In hierarchical clustering, the main emphasis is on some type of algorithm which is created, and the end result of the algorithm is 2 type of things, that is called as agglomeration schedule and the dendrogram. And these 2 things basically can help you to know that how many clusters we can have from this particular data. So just see here, let's see here. So now we see there will be some type of disturbance because it doesn't work that way. So when we talk about clustering, so if we begin from here, then these 2 are the nearest one. These 2 are clustered first. Maybe I am wrong visually a little bit, and then it will be clustering this way, and then maybe then it clusters this way. Or we can talk about here that the 2 nearest points are these 2, and then this, and then this, right? And maybe then maybe possibly then this. So you have possibility of clusters, and there would be a point where when all these things will be like, if we talk here, then these 2 clusters will be same, and then these 3 clusters, and slowly all these will be coming under same cluster, right? Or all these will be coming under certain cluster, and then finally with similar type of iteration, we will see that actually it forms into a single whole. But within a single whole, we are able to see that we can have different type of cluster, and basically this type of iteration or algorithm helps in the output of hierarchical cluster analysis, which gives the output in terms of agglomeration schedule, and the other one is dendrogram. So just let's take a data and then work it out. Okay, just one thing. Let's talk about the basic characteristics of the different type of clustering technique. So I begin with the 2, that is hierarchical and k-means. And 2-step clustering is basically a blue-white technique. It has got most of the things. Hierarchical clustering. Now, as you see from this particular thing, you can think of, say suppose data set is of 200. Now you can think of that how many different type of nesting has to be done, how many combinations are needed. So, and then again you can further increase the data to 600, 1000, 5000, you can very well assume of that how many type of nesting has to be done. Now with such type of data, if you are having more than say 100 or say 200 data, hierarchical clustering starts facing some type of problem. For that, in that case, we have different type of techniques. So therefore, what we see is that in case of hierarchical clustering, This is good for small data set. K means is good for large data set. भाई आपका कितना भी है, आपने कहा 5000, 3 में डिवाइड करना कर दिया उसने, एक सेंट्रॉइड लेकर के। आपने कहा 10,000 को 6 में डिवाइड करना है, उसने 3-4 सेंटर बनाए, और मतलब in this also iterations are there. So K means large data sets can be analyzed, and two-step clustering also large data set can be analyzed. Number of clusters gives number of clusters as output. In hierarchical, the output is number of clusters. In K means the input is the number of clusters, and in two-step we get the cluster automatically. Structure of cluster, as I have told you just now, that it is nested method, and here you have simply you divide say 500 points are there, and you divide it into say 3, so they remain non-overlapping, while the hierarchical is more of overlapping one. Distance measure, these are different type of algorithm. We will not be talking about it, neither I know that much, because these are very, very technical, that what goes behind algorithm. But just sharing with you that hierarchical has got lot many options of distance measures within the data points. Two-step has got two type of distance measure. Nature of here you just please concentrate that here nature of variable which we can use for clustering can be continuous, categorical, or nominal. But the condition is that if you are using continuous, then all the variables should be continuous. If you are using categorical, then all the variables should be categorical. Because we need some type of standardization. Either we do some type of standardization of variable, so that say your Likert scale is of 7 point, and your nominal is say 0, 1, 0, 1, that way. So now, and you have marked it as metric data. So for the software, it becomes difficult. In continuous categorical, maybe that it gives some type of result, possibly, but not with some type of variables, continuous variables like age, which runs into say 60, 70, 80, while the nominal is into 1, 2, 3, that way. So that is the thing in case of hierarchy. For K means it works in continuous data to the best of my knowledge, actually, K means. And two-step is the best one. It uses the mix of nominal and continuous without any type of clauses. So it uses both nominal and continuous. So let's apply bit of hierarchical clustering. Just a moment. So I am opening one data file. This is about the female profile, and this female profile, let's have a look in the variable view. This is a data set of about 600 female respondents, roughly 600 female respondents, and these people have 511. These people have responded against different type of variables. Now these variables are related to the personality, and these came out of the focus group. All these are different type of variables, like objective of pursuing a career, how important is career, how open are you to relocate, would you like to party. And in this case, all the data was nominal, means these are not ordinal data. So all these are categorical data: get high earnings, gain social acceptance, proving capability. So they are mutually exclusive. So thus the data which we have chosen on this side is nominal, right? And here all these have to be treated in numeric terms, and we have to give the value labels here. Just would like to apply hierarchical clustering. So here we have opened the SPSS, and we click on analyze, and then we go to classify, and then we go to hierarchical clustering. In hierarchical clustering, I am taking the courage to input all the variables, because I know if you are putting a lot of variable, then it will be difficult to cluster, and the model quality always is not that good. But as far as marketing is concerned, as far as cluster analysis and exploratory technique, we are not much bothered about that. It depends on the situation which we are in. So I have taken all the variables. Then we are clustering on the basis of cases, that is the females, and then statistics. In statistics, I have taken agglomeration schedule, which helps us in knowing the number of cluster. Means we are able to pick, we are 6 cluster lene hai, to 6 you can take, 3 if it can be found you can take 3. It depends on actually the observation, that how these clusters are how these cases are clustered. But the thing which I like the most is output, that is the plot called as dendrogram. Dendrogram helps us in visually helping us in knowing different type of clusters, that how this clustering is happening. So I have clicked on dendrogram. I will put none here because iSQL plot is difficult to understand till now. Now cluster method is between group linkage, and this measure is squared Euclidean distance. I just put it continue, and then okay. Just a moment. Somebody please mute your mic kindly. Yeah, so here we see the output. Here we have agglomeration schedule, where we see the largest gap here in the coefficient. But I will avoid this. Instead of this, I will like to see the dendrogram. Possibly dendrogram is being processing. Just see. So for 512 data, this much of processing time was needed. Now this is a dendrogram. Now I'm showing you, but it's very difficult to see the whole of dendrogram of 600 roughly people. 500 roughly people here. So we see that in many places this can be one type of cluster, right? Or this can be another type of cluster. However, they are not that very good. Okay. So slowly and slowly, if we move, then we can get different type of clusters. Like if this is another cluster, this is another cluster. That way we can have different type of clusters. Here we have visually. Am I audible? Yugalji?
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay, thank you. So we are able to see from this dendro. But now what I would suggest is that if we have a data of 600, better would be that if we decrease the size of the data, because of the two things. One is that hierarchical is able to do justice with the amount of data. Second thing is that we are able to analyze the dendrogram, right? So from where we will be doing, just I go back to main menu, and then here, and then analyze, and then transform, data. So let's data was about say 500. So select cases. Select cases, I am saying randomly you give me a sample of 10%. So from here, so out of 500, say 15, I want to have only data of say 20% of all cases, right? So continue, and then
Excuse me. Sir, please disable the annotation for others.
from where it
Someone is trying to create something on the screen.
disable annotation for others. Okay.
Yes, sir. And please clear this annotation.
Clear this. Yes. Thank you. So random sample of cases, approximately 20% of the cases. So now I'm saying to SPSS that just give me 20% of the cases of say 515 and we'll apply the technique on just 20% of the cases. Now this is one of the good things, that through this we can validate whatever is the output. So now we will be having say we can have 5 different samples out of this 600, and we should be getting some similar type of dendrogram, right? So through that we are able to understand, or at least we can know with the help of agglomeration schedule, that we should get some similar number of clusters. So here I am saving it, deleted, filter out unselected. Okay. Now how many clusters are left? Sorry, how many cases are left? These are simply the cases which are left randomly, right? So now on this again I will like to analyze, classify. Again I am repeating hierarchical clustering on same number of clusters. Just I will check plots. Yes, plot dendrogram is there. Then I just click it. Now this has worked out on the data of say only 20%. This is the agglomeration schedule of 113 people, and this is the dendrogram, right? Now with this dendrogram you are able to you are in a better position to analyze. So we can copy this in a Word file. We are copying this in a Word file, and through this Word file we can bit analyze. We have to be patient in this case. So we are seeing that this can be one cluster or this can be one cluster, right? So it's up to us. We can say that this is one cluster, this is another cluster, or this is another cluster, and then again say this is yet another cluster, or we can find some cluster at the bigger level with more distance, right? So we can have this cluster at this level, just see this cluster, and then this cluster, and then possibly this cluster. This is a very small cluster, and again this cluster. So that way we can arrive at some number of clusters, right? Okay, and this is another cluster. So that way we can get an idea of the clusters which we can have. Now suppose we are able to see that I am able to see that 6 clusters are there. Okay, so the next step is k-means clustering. And then when we go for k-means clustering, it asks for how many clusters you want to create. So at that point of time, we give them this 6. So this 6 is the result of the output of the hierarchical clustering. And this we have either taken from agglomeration schedule or the dendrogram. So we come here, we go back to the main data, right? Okay, now I'm directly coming to this. So here, this was the actual research where we did. So here we have broken down the samples, and different type of dendrograms are there, and we have tried to be in lookout for different type of clusters. So here we see that in this dendrogram of some limited size, we have 5 clusters, right? So again we have taken another sample. In that case also we were able to see 5 clusters. Certainly this cluster was varying from 5 to 7, but we were trying that if we can get hold of 5 clusters on different type of, so yes, there is some type of say adjustments in terms of the way we are observing the thing, and especially with dendrogram, that is a problem also, and it's a benefit also. So that's how different type of clusters have been marked. Okay. So this is the output of hierarchical clustering. Now I will take up two-step clustering on the on another data, right? I am not going through k-means clustering because actually I have to focus on two-step cluster analysis. I told you about hierarchical clustering because of the importance of the output it gives in terms of the number of cluster possibilities which can be seen in a data, or the number of responses. Okay, so here I am going with the one data. Here this is a data which is about the bottle. This is about the sell out of the bottle. Here. So we see the variable view. All this have been marked as first part, that is whether the bottle is tall or not, whether the bottle is short or not, that will be the nominal one. And this thing we have taken it as scale data because it is easy to analyze when we are talking about the scale data. Okay, here the steps are that we go to analyze, we classify, and then we go into two-step cluster. In case of two-step cluster, I am just resetting again. Just see, from here we have certain nominal variable. This I will be inputting under this categorical variable. And then we have certain scale variable. So the bottle is tall, short, broad, what? That is the categorical variable, and how much people feel the personality of the bottle as something or the other, that is sluggish. So this is just another data which had these two type of variables. So I am using this therefore because that female data was only having the categorical variable. Now these two type of variables are used in case of two-step cluster analysis, and this is the big draw of two-step cluster analysis. The distance measure most of the time which is used is log likelihood. Euclidean log likelihood algorithm is difficult to explain, but I can simply say that whenever mix of categorical or continuous variables are there, then log likelihood works better. And then there is a clustering criterion, that is Bayesian information criterion, BIC, and there is Akekes information criterion, AIC. Many of the places I have read that Akekes works better, but by default in SPSS we find Schwartz Bayesian criterion. So I will take this many only. Now you see that these categorical variable are 0 or 1, and these are from 1 to 7. Now these need to be standardized. So any type of scale variable actually needs to be standardized here. So that's why we see here we have a 7 variables. So to be standardized, how many variables have to be standardized? 7. Right. So distance measure is log likelihood. Clustering criterion is DIC, and to be standardized is 7. Now here further, again very positive thing about two-step cluster analysis is that it can determine automatically. Means you haven't have to run through hierarchical clustering and then k-means clustering. You simply just enter into two-step clustering and you will get everything. Okay, so determine automatically, maximum generally by default it gives 15, or you can specify fixed also. So I will choose determine automatically. Any other options? Yeah, noise handling. So noise handling is some type of outlier. So some type of data, as you saw in that graph, the 4 or 5 data points were away from the main. So we can use noise handling. In our case, it possibly was 10%. So that many outliers have to be treated. Then this is related to the MB it will be consuming, because here we are using data set of 200 or 600, but nowadays you can very well think of the data is being churned out at a real time, and we can have the data of in thousands, in lakhs we have the data. So there this type of thing become important. Now these are the variables which are to be standardized. Means we haven't have to do anything. The software will be taking care of. It is just telling us that these will be standardized, to be standardized, right? So we just click continue, and here now we are talking about output fields. Output fields, we are not entering any type of evaluation field. Create cluster membership variable, continue, okay. Now once we have clicked this, what comes out is this. So finally it gives that whatever data we gave, it says now that out of 16 inputs we have SPSS created 7 clusters. So it has divided with all those shapes and adjectives. It has divided everything of those 16 into 7 clusters. And here we see the cluster quality, that is called as Sill-House measure of cohesion and separation. So if we are here, then that's good. It's generally most of the time cluster analysis is giving somewhere here. Why? Because whenever we will be having categorical, things become a bit difficult in clustering, and especially the type of data if you have seen which I am using, where every option has got say some 4 or 5 type of category. So to create cluster for the software would be very difficult, and at least if not difficult, the cluster quality would not be coming very good. Many times I have seen, I was working last week, it was coming poor also. Right, so certainly in case of poor, there is no point of using the cluster analysis then. But what is suggested is that it should come somewhere between this here. Now I double click this. So this dialog window opens. Now this dialog window is telling about that how many clusters are there, that is 7 clusters are there. What are the sizes of cluster? And there are some generally equal size in this case because of the type of data. Size of the largest cluster is 318, smallest cluster 159. Now here I would like to know more about my 7 clusters, because I need some type of profile, especially in case of that female project. So I go to this model summary. I will be clicking clusters here. So once I have clicked the cluster, it will give something like this, right? So now we are having these many clusters, and in every cluster it has given that what are the properties of the cluster. So if we just see, compare cluster 3 and 1, then here the bottom curve is absent in the third cluster and bottom curve is present in the first cluster. Both the clusters are broad, and then the deep curve is there in the third cluster of bottle, sorry, not bottle, third cluster, and then here the deep curve is present. So that way these two clusters can be looked into, that what type of features or the properties they are having. Now just see these two clusters from here. If you see this, what type of adjective, then the first cluster has been marked more as a daring, right? Here the sophistication is bit high and it is less here. This is more youthful. Maybe if we compare the data here, this is more sexy, this is less sexy, right? Or this is just see 3.38 youthful and 3.14 youthful, right? So this way we can see that different type of data can have the features present in different type of quantum. Now if you see, this is importance also, that what is the importance of particular variable in this particular cluster. Now this is one way to look into, but the easiest method to do is to look into the properties of different type of clusters. So I have clicked here on the top third, then this gives you in a very visual manner the gist of it, that in case of cluster 3, bottom curve is absent, broad it is broad, deep curve is absent, short is absent, slight curve is present, slim is absent. That way it is there. This is one cluster. Now this is the median, and this is the median, and here you see that the median of the cluster also is coming in here. So the cluster and the all the clusters and this particular cluster is having the same median. But as we see this one, daring is having the higher median than all the clusters. So here because of data, this median is not moving much, but we can certainly mark the difference here with this type of presence of clusters. So we can analyze different type of clusters by marking here. Here you see bit of medians have moved of that particular cluster. So this particular thing is showing the average value of all the clusters, and this is showing of the one cluster which I have clicked here. And for one cluster, again, for one cluster, bottom curve is present, it is broad, deep curve is present, short it is absent, slight curve is absent, that way. So this way we can analyze the data. One more way is there, just sharing with you, that if we click on a particular variable related cell, so this I have clicked, the third cluster, and here I have clicked. Here you see that this, the light red, is showing the data of the all the 7 clusters. But this one, that is this row, that was the third cluster, here it is represented as absent. Okay, so here in this particular cluster, what we see is that here in general what it is saying, that whatever the data is there, bottom curve is absent most of the cases, and it is present in less number of cases. But in this particular cluster, it is absent with this type of magnitude, say the proportion of this particular bar. Now if we click this, then we see that this gives that the broad is actually present this. So this way we can analyze different type of cell, and again this will not be coming very good. But one thing is there that we are able to see a bit of normal curve. Normal curve is there. So in this diagram, this pattern comes for categorical variable and this pattern comes for continuous variable. Again the same thing, this is for all the cluster, lighter shade, and dark shade is that how the distribution of sex key is there. More number of people have said marked as 2 or 3 for in the case of first cluster. So this way we analyze the whole thing. So now let's go back to the PowerPoint. So this I have just presented. I told you the whole process of two-step clustering. Classify two-step cluster, then we choose categorical variable. In this example is not having a scale variable, right? Then you can use noise handling, it's up to you. This already I told you. Now this, whatever I did in this, it was coming poor cluster quality. But sharing with you again the same thing which I showed you. Now this is for one, this is for another cluster. So this is for one cluster, this is for another cluster, and this is for. Now what we have done is that we have taken the screenshot of the two clusters and we can now compare cluster number 4 and cluster number 2. So cluster number 4 is want permission may not go. This is would you like to go to party? Want permission may not go. मतलब permission लेते हैं may not go. Okay. In this also it is same, but here it is different. Go for public transport और ये कह रही है कि happily drive 4-wheeler, right? ये जो cluster 4 हैं ये कह रही है कि going on a long vacation without don't remember. Then here breaking rules leads to a sense of freedom. So that's how we can profile. We can write these statements finally, and we can develop the profile of the particular cluster. So that way what we see is that this whole two-step cluster analysis has got some type of benefit in terms of that it not some, I would say it is a great benefit that it is able to cluster the variables of both types, that is categorical and continuous both. Then it gives the number of idle cluster on its own automatically. So this is something great, and the output which it gives is more in terms of visual, sometimes visual, which you can compare. It becomes very easy to profile, and especially for these profiling exercises, maybe that this doesn't work much for finance area, but certainly this works very good for HR and marketing area, where we are talking about different type of personality or different type of profiles of consumers. So this is finally the output of the assignment which we begin. Now one of the best practice, I will not say best practice, but just we saw that something good happened. What actually was there that when we took the data of 600, then there were many of the students from our class. Now when the students are from our class, we know their profile, right? After a year, we know the profile of most of the girls, or at least their classmates know. So now when these different clusters are there, and those same girls of our class are found in different clusters, then we can validate in a very, very practical term that whether that cluster is representing, say, Richa and say Simran, or say second cluster is representing Shrutima and Vidisha or not. So that is one another way, good way of validating the output which we have got. Because here we know that these students have this type of personality, and then we are able to match that whatever cluster analysis has given, whether it is right or not. So I'm just in the end, I am sharing with you the cluster profile. So once we develop all these clusters, we have to give the name to it. It's not that we are doing for here. Just yeah, we press one. The top option it is given. Here you just see. Here the cluster number is given. We will be giving the label. Here you saw on the slide it was written free swinger, and then we have to describe. Description would be coming from those smaller circles which I showed you, that comparison. So all the profile points you can write here. You can write free swinger here. Here you can write the name of the cluster. Here you know the size of the cluster, everything. So finally you are able to see that you have ended up with some type of profiles and which actually is matching with your students. So we were able to mark. So this was free swingers. They had certain type of profile. So whatever profile was given, whatever profile came out from the cluster analysis, that was written in a continuous sentences describing a female. And these three students actually belong to free swinger. My colleague who are seeing right now would agree that certainly these three students of ours, Anuja and Shrutima and Pooja Gupta, these were more really like a free singer. So then the Dapper is there. She's a mix of being fun and being sophisticated, right? So here see again other girls came out, which again we saw they were matching with the profile which we have got. Then another third profile was named as Gutsy. These and very well see Achal, again my colleague on the other side will agree, Achal was more of a gutsy. Laishita was also gutsy, right? So we were very happy in fact seeing that these girls actually coming out the same way as the cluster analysis is describing something. Then the no nonsense type of now here we see, thank you, no nonsense. Now these again were the girls who were of no nonsense type. So we were very happy with the type of practical validation we had finally from the cluster analysis, simplistic. So now in the end I have given you given different type of properties of two-way cluster. This I will be passing on to Monica ma'am. She may pass on to you. This I have written just for you to have everything in one place. This is not for presentation. So my presentation ends with this. I hope I have shared whatever I had experienced in the case of this particular analysis. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining me, and thank you very much for having a patient listen. Any questions you'd like to ask?
Hello.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, there seems to be some echo. Let me check.
Naming of cluster is done. We have to think about it. Naming of cluster have to be. It means you just reading the profile and then thinking of कि क्या नाम दे सकते हैं इसको. That has to be done by us. Okay.
I hope now voice is not echoing.
It's all right. Fine.
So a lot of thanks messages are coming. So
thank you very
actually
much.
You explained the difficult topic otherwise in such a simple usage terms, and you made things so very interesting, and I think a lot of people will be interested in this type of analysis for their future research work.
Thank you, ma'am.
And moreover, you have been so timely completing your whole thing. So that is again something
I,
to be learned from a senior professor
that
like you.
I think that is my achievement.
If there are questions, people can ask. Else, we can have a break for some time, and we will join once again at 4:15.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for calling me in this particular FPP. Was very valuable for me and to share with the people
The best
in my
thing what a
fraternity.
teacher can do is to create interest, and I
Thank you.
think that has been successfully done by Shikhar sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
So in an
Thank
hour,
you, everybody.
nothing much can be delivered, but interest can definitely be generated. Shikhar sir, there seems to be no questions. I am just quickly going through the chat. There are
I have seen the chat.
or rather, there are no
In fact,
questions as such.
I
Only
saw the chat. Yeah.
words of thankfulness for you. So I take a break for say another 11, 12 minutes.